Welcome to my channel, Coin Worth Million Today. Video is one you won't to miss. We're diving into the world of coins. Top 5 1 cent. So let's get it started. The 2016 1 cent coin, more commonly referred to as the 2016 Lincoln penny, is a modern representation of the longest-running coin design in U.S. history, paying tribute to the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. Originally introduced in 1909 to mark the centennial of Lincoln's birth, the Lincoln cent replaced the Indian head cent and became the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real person. The obverse, front, of the 2016 penny still proudly displays the classic Victor David Brenner portrait of Lincoln in profile, which has been used in nearly unaltered form for over a century. Surrounding Lincoln's profile are the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the year 2016, along with a mint mark, either D, Denver, P, Philadelphia, or no mark, Philadelphia without a mark, though the P was not used until 2017 for cents. The reverse, back of the 2016 Lincoln cent features the Union Shield design, introduced in 2010 and created by artist Lyndall Bass and sculptor Joseph Mena. The shield, a symbol of national unity, has 13 vertical stripes representing the original colonies joined together under a single horizontal bar to represent federal unity, and bears the inscription, 1 cent, across a scroll and United States of America above. This reverse replaced the earlier Lincoln Memorial design used from 1959 to 2008, and the temporary 2009 Bicentennial series that featured 4 different reverse scenes from Lincoln's life. The 2016 Lincoln penny is made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, a composition adopted in 1982 due to rising copper prices. The coins have a mass of 2.5 grams, a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, and a plain edge. Though these coins are often considered commonplace, they are essential in understanding U.S. numismatic history and the broader cultural reverence for Abraham Lincoln. While the coin is produced in the billions annually, certain variations and mint errors can make specific examples more valuable to collectors. As of 2016, the mintage was over 4.9 billion from Philadelphia and nearly 4.6 billion from Denver. There are no official proofs from Philadelphia, but proof versions were minted in San Francisco with an S mint mark for collectors and included in proof sets. From a historical standpoint, the Lincoln penny symbolizes more than just currency. It reflects themes of freedom, unity, and the American ideal. Lincoln, the president who preserved the Union during the Civil War and issued the Emancipation Proclamation, represents resilience and leadership during crisis. His inclusion on the smallest denomination may be symbolic of humility, suggesting that even the humblest among us can impact history. Economically, the penny has become controversial in recent years, with debates about its continued use due to its low purchasing power and production cost, which often exceeds its face value. Nevertheless, as of 2016, the penny remains in circulation and continues to be a nostalgic and educational tool for both citizens and collectors. Collectors often search 2016 pennies for die cracks, double dies, or off-center strikes, which can increase a coin's value. Though no widely known key date or high-value varieties have emerged from this year, the sheer mintage means there are many potential error coins waiting to be discovered. The year 2016 does not represent a major turning point in penny production, but it remains a part of the evolving legacy of the Lincoln cent, one of America's most iconic and enduring coins. Whether tucked into a child's coin jar, used in commerce, or carefully placed into an album, the 2016 Lincoln penny connects generations to a past filled with historical significance and numismatic wonder. As the future of the penny remains uncertain, each annual issue, including the 2016 coin, adds to a century-old tradition that blends art, history, economics, and national pride. The 1986 1 cent coin, commonly known as the Lincoln penny, is part of the long-standing Lincoln cent series issued by the United States Mint, since 1909. The series honors President Abraham Lincoln, and in 1986, the coin still featured the design. Introduced in 1959 for the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth and the 50th anniversary of the Lincoln cent itself. The obverse, front side of the 1986 penny features a bust of Lincoln facing right, designed by Victor David Brenner. His initials, VDB, are subtly engraved at the base of Lincoln's shoulder. Surrounding the portrait are the inscriptions, "In God We Trust" at the top, "Liberty" to the left, and the year 1986 to the right. Depending on where the coin was minted, a mint mark may appear under the date. P for Philadelphia, though Philadelphia pennies in 1986 had no mint mark. D for Denver, or S for the San Francisco Mint, which produced proof coins. The reverse, back of the coin features the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. This iconic image shows the entire neoclassical structure, with the tiny silhouette of Lincoln visible between the central columns, a tribute to his enduring legacy. Surrounding the design are the words, "United States of America," and "E pluribus unum" above the memorial, and 1 cent at the bottom. The entire design is a reflection of national pride and historical reverence, using Lincoln's image and his memorial to represent unity, leadership, and American values. The 1986 penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D; and San Francisco, S, for proof coins. Over 4.9 billion were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and over 4.4 billion at the Denver Mint, making it one of the most common U.S. coins of the era. The San Francisco Mint, which produces proof coins primarily for collectors, struck around 3 million high-quality 1986 S proof cents. The composition of the coin at this time was copper-plated zinc, a formula adopted in 1982 to reduce production costs. Before 1982, Lincoln cents were made primarily of bronze, 95% copper, 5% tin, and zinc. But rising copper prices led to the transition to the current composition of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating. The zinc core makes modern pennies significantly lighter, at just 2.5 grams. While these coins are ubiquitous and typically worth only their face value, they hold interest for collectors because of potential mint errors, their historical context, and for completing date and mint collections of Lincoln cents. One of the key aspects of collecting 1986 pennies lies in searching for mint errors and varieties. While most 1986 pennies are common, a few errors can make them far more valuable. Examples include double die obverses, where parts of the design appear duplicated, usually noticeable in the lettering or date; off-center strikes, where the coin is not properly aligned during minting; and die cracks or cuds, raised, irregular, marks caused by damage to the die. Another type of error includes coins that were struck on the wrong planchet, for example, on a dime-sized blank, resulting in unusual size and weight. Some 1986 cents also show signs of plating errors, such as bubbles under the copper coating, which occurred due to poor adhesion between the zinc core and the copper plating. These flaws may appeal to collectors of so-called Zincoln penny errors. Additionally, proof coins from San Francisco, especially if found in pristine high-grade condition, such as PR69 or PR70, are valued by numismatists and may sell for several dollars apiece. These proofs are distinguished by their mirror-like fields and frosted details, achieved through specialized minting techniques and multiple strikes. In terms of overall collectability, the 1986 penny isn't considered a key date in the Lincoln cent series. Those are typically coins with very low mintages or significant historical changes, but it does hold value in its context as a representation of the mid-1980s minting era. Its high mintage means that circulated examples are still common in pocket change today. However, uncirculated rolls and professionally graded coins in mint state 67 or higher can draw collector interest. For example, an MS67 Plus Red, RD, 1986D, penny can be worth $20 or more, and rare examples in MS68 RD have sold for significantly higher through major coin auction houses. The value increases with condition, rarity, and verified grading from respected services such as PCGS or NGC. Additionally, for students of U.S. coinage, the 1986 penny represents a point in time when the U.S. economy was shifting, and the mint was perfecting the use of cheaper metals for everyday coins. While many people overlook pennies today due to their small denomination, coins like the 1986 cent carry history in their metal, from the portrait of Lincoln to the architecture of the memorial and the technological advances in coin production. In that sense, the 1986 penny is more than a simple coin. It's a miniature monument to America's past, present, and the practical realities of minting currency in the modern age. The 2001 1-cent coin, commonly known as the Lincoln cent or penny, is part of the long-standing Lincoln cent series that began in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. The 2001 penny features the classic design that was introduced in 1959 to commemorate Lincoln's 150th birthday and the 50th anniversary of the Lincoln cent. On the obverse, front side of the coin is a right-facing profile of President Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, whose initials VDB can be seen subtly at the base of Lincoln's shoulder. The inscriptions, "In God We Trust," appear above Lincoln's head. Liberty is placed to his left, and the date 2001 is located to the right. Just below the date is the mint mark, either D for the Denver Mint or P for the Philadelphia Mint, which began using the P mark on pennies starting in 2017. However, in 2001, Philadelphia struck pennies still bore no mint mark. The reverse back of the coin displays the iconic image of the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. This design shows the entire memorial building in detail, including the tiny seated figure of Lincoln visible between the columns, a rare instance of a person appearing on both sides of a U.S. coin. Above the memorial are the inscriptions "United States of America" and "E pluribus unum," and beneath it, the denomination 1 cent. This version of the penny continued in use until 2008, when it was replaced by a new reverse design in 2009, commemorating Lincoln's bicentennial. The 2001 penny reflects a continuation of U.S. coinage tradition, both in design and symbolic meaning, emphasizing unity, leadership, and the memory of one of the nation's most revered presidents. In terms of composition, the 2001 penny follows the post-1982 format, consisting of a zinc core with a thin copper plating. Specifically, it contains 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, weighing 2.5 grams and measuring 19.05 millimeters in diameter. This composition was adopted in 1982 in response to rising copper prices, as producing pennies out of solid copper was no longer economically feasible. The lighter, copper-plated zinc penny, sometimes referred to as a zinken by collectors, behaves differently than earlier solid bronze coins. For example, it is more prone to corrosion if the copper layer is damaged, exposing the reactive zinc core. In 2001, the U.S. Mint produced an enormous number of these pennies, with the Philadelphia Mint striking over 5.3 billion, and the Denver Mint producing more than 5 billion, making the 2001 cent one of the most common coins in circulation. The eyes. San Francisco Mint also struck proof pennies for collectors, which are distinguished by their sharp, mirror-like surfaces and carefully struck details. These were not intended for general circulation but rather for inclusion in special proof sets sold to collectors. The total mintage of 2001's proof pennies was about 3 million. Despite its massive production, the 2001 penny still garners interest among collectors, especially in high grades or with mint errors. Most circulated examples carry no premium and are worth face value, but uncirculated examples, particularly those graded MS67 or higher, can command modest premiums. Proof coins in PR69 or PR70 condition, certified by grading services like PCGS or NGC, are often valued at a few dollars each. A small number of 2001 pennies also display minting errors that increase their value. These include doubled die obverses, DDO, where details such as the date or lettering appear slightly doubled due to a misaligned die. Other errors include off-center strikes, where the design is not fully centered on the coin blank. Broad strikes, where the coin is struck outside the retaining collar, leading to a larger than normal diameter. Die cracks, where raised lines appear on the coin due to cracks in the minting die. And plating bubbles, where gas pockets form under the copper plating and cause raised blisters on the coin's surface. Even rarer are wrong plancher errors, where the coin is accidentally struck on a blank meant for a different denomination, such as a dime, leading to smaller and thinner pennies that are sometimes worth hundreds of dollars to collectors. While the 2001 penny is not a key date coin, a term used by collectors to describe coins with low mintages or historical significance, it remains an essential piece for anyone assembling a full set of Lincoln Memorial cents, 1959, 2008. It also serves as a typical example of early 21st century coin production in the U.S., demonstrating the mint's capacity for mass production and its continued commitment to honoring Abraham Lincoln's legacy. For new collectors, the 2001 penny is an accessible coin that offers an opportunity to learn about coin grading, composition, and error detection. For seasoned numismatists, it may be a chance to hunt for high-grade specimens or rare error types. Over time, even common coins like the 2001 cent can gain historical interest as they reflect changes in minting technology, economic trends, and design standards. In a broader sense, each 2001 penny in circulation is part of a larger narrative of how even the smallest denomination of currency holds meaning, from the person it honors to the hands through which it passes. Whether nestled in a change jar, buried in a coin collection, or gleaming in a graded plastic holder, the 2001 Lincoln penny is both ordinary and extraordinary, representing over a century of tradition in American coinage and the enduring relevance of a president whose vision for unity still resonates today. The 2014 1-cent coin, commonly referred to as the Lincoln penny or Lincoln Shield cent, is a continuation of one of the longest-running coin series in U.S. history. The obverse, front, of the coin features the iconic right-facing profile of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, and first used in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This makes Lincoln the first actual historical figure to appear on a regular issue American coin. The inscriptions "In God We Trust" appear at the top, "Liberty" to the left of Lincoln, and the date 2014 to the right, accompanied by a mint mark, either a P for the Philadelphia Mint, a D for the Denver Mint, or an S for the San Francisco Mint, which struck proof coins. On the reverse, back, the 2014 penny features the Union Shield design, which was introduced in 2010 to replace the Lincoln Memorial reverse that had been used from 1959 to 2008. The shield design, created by Lyndall Bass and sculpted by Joseph Mena, symbolizes the strength and unity of the United States. The large shield has 13 vertical stripes representing the original colonies, bound together by a horizontal bar symbolizing the federal government. A scroll bearing the denomination 1 cent is superimposed across the shield, while United States of America, arcs above, and E pluribus unum is placed directly over the horizontal bar. This design ties into historical iconography used during the Civil War and is a tribute to Lincoln's legacy of preserving the Union during the nation's most turbulent era. The reverse's style is bold and simple, making it distinct from earlier penny designs. The 2014 penny, like those minted since mid-1982, is composed of a zinc core with a thin copper plating, a cost-saving measure introduced when copper prices soared. This gives the coin a composition of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, a total weight of 2.5 grams, and a diameter of 19.05 mm. The copper coating gives the coin its familiar reddish tone, but the underlying zinc makes it more vulnerable to corrosion if the outer layer is breached. In 2014, the U.S. Mint produced pennies at an industrial scale to meet the needs of everyday commerce, with over 3.9 billion coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint and more than 4.1 billion at the Denver Mint. The San Francisco Mint contributed an additional 1.2 million proof coins for collectors. This huge production volume makes the 2014 penny one of the most common modern coins in circulation, and most examples are only worth face value unless they are in uncirculated or proof condition. Proof coins, struck using special dies and highly polished blanks, display a mirrored field and frosted details, making them popular among collectors and suitable for coin albums or graded collections. Despite its ubiquity, the 2014 penny is notable to collectors because of its potential for errors and high-grade specimens. Several varieties and mint errors have been reported for this year, some of which can increase the coin's value significantly. These include doubled die obverses, where parts of the design, such as Liberty or the date, appear slightly doubled, off-center strikes, where the coin is not aligned correctly during minting, resulting in part of the design being missing, die cracks or die chips, caused by wear or damage to the minting dies, and plating bubbles, which appear as raised areas on the surface due to trapped gases between the zinc core and copper plating. One notable variety is the 2014 D doubled ear Lincoln cent, which shows a doubled image of Lincoln's earlobe and is classified as a valuable collectible if in high-grade condition. There are also 2014 pennies struck with excessive die wear, causing the letters or Lincoln's profile to appear weak or distorted, often called poorly struck coins. While many of these may not command high prices individually, they are of great interest to error coin enthusiasts. Furthermore, certified mint state MS examples graded MS 67 or higher by services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company, can command premiums of several dollars or more, depending on market demand. From a historical perspective, the 2014 penny is part of the modern era of U.S. coinage and reflects not only Lincoln's enduring presence on American currency, but also the ongoing challenge of producing coinage economically in an age where the production cost of a cent exceeds its face value. It is often discussed in public policy circles as the subject of penny elimination proposals, where some argue that the coin should be phased out entirely due to its cost and declining purchasing power. Nevertheless, the U.S. Mint continues to produce billions of pennies annually, largely because of consumer and business habits that still rely on small denominations in cash transactions. For collectors, the 2014 penny represents a recent chapter in the Lincoln cent's long history. It fits into collections that span multiple eras, from the wheat cents, 1909-1958, to the memorial cents, 1959-2008, to the current shield cents, 2010-present. Whether kept in circulation or preserved in albums, the 2014 cent is an example of how even the smallest coin can carry deep symbolism, technical complexity, and ongoing relevance. It connects generations of Americans through everyday transactions, serves as a platform for artistic expression in miniature, and continues to honor a president whose leadership redefined the nation. While it may seem mundane in everyday use, to the numismatist, the 2014 penny is a bridge between historical tradition and modern minting, a tiny but powerful emblem of America's past, present, and fiscal realities.